Oh, I really like that intro, Sarah.
Hi. Did
Hi,
you see how I
everybody.
censored the sun?
Had to censor the sun and the star. Yeah.
I was
Hi,
like, man, I'm
everybody.
going to do it obnoxious. Hello. Hi. Oh, thanks everybody for joining us today.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
So today, Scott and I were going to be answering not personal questions. We're not taking personal questions, but we're going to discuss tarot, and we're going to be answering if you have ever struggled with the card, or just have questions about learning tarot in general, or we're here to answer those questions today. So that is what the show is about today, kind of learning tarot. And as we're all going to learn together, because every time we discuss it, we learn something new and exciting about the cards.
And it's not just for you guys. We'll be learning too. So, feel free to chime in as you want to.
Yeah, I tried a new thing, a poll. I haven't used polls in StreamYard before. So if you can see the poll, I have a question. Which do you struggle most with, the major or the minor arcana? So put one or two, one for major, two for minor in the chat, and we can get that poll going to see where people fall, kind of where they struggle the most. And as we're saying hi to everybody, we'll be collecting that data. But we got two.
There we go. It's coming up already.
We got the minor. Do you want to say hi to some people?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we've got Jackie Jacaranda. Hello. Hello. And we have Juanita.
Hi, Juanita.
How's it going? Judy in the Skies comes in with first love today. Hi, Judy.
Hey, Judy.
We have
Vendika.
Thank you.
No problem.
Vendika. Thank you very much. And we have Witchy Trista. Hello,
Hey,
Trista.
Trista.
Thank you for joining us today. Viviani. Hi, Viviani. And I think, let's see, we have Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Marilla, hello. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Marilla.
Oh my gosh, I was going down, but my thing was going up, so I went backwards for some reason in the scroll. Hi, Sheila. I was like, what is happening?
Hi, Sheila.
We have Venus. Hello, Venus. Okay. Elam, is that how?
Elham.
Yep. Elham, hi. Thanks. Nice to meet you. Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hello. Thanks for joining us today. Emilda. Hi, how's it going? Let's see. Am I missing anybody else?
Paul Freed is here.
You're probably lower than I am. So go ahead. You can take over. You're probably lower than I am.
Oh, no. I was all the way at the bottom. So you keep going. You're good. I didn't mean to jump in there.
No, that's fine. I always miss some. Violet Strange. Hi, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. Annie Bear. Hello. And then, yes, we have Paul Freed. Hello. I think, let's see. Did we get everybody? I think we did.
I don't know
how deep this rabbit hole goes. Okay, yeah, I think we have everybody. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, Lori the Leo is here. Hi, Lori. Leo.
Lori, hi. Hello. So it looks like we have 100% for the minor arcana. For that.
Yep, I know at least 2 people have put in there, so yeah. And I just saw this from Imelda. She said, I bought my deck over 2 years ago and never got past the majors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They can be very intense.
Mm-hmm.
Very intense.
Yeah, everybody's putting
Oh,
two
court
in.
cards are my nemesis, Jackie. Oh
Of
my gosh,
course,
court
yeah.
cards. I was telling Scott, I almost took him out of the deck. I was like, I am not hanging out with you guys because you guys are not fun. Yeah, I had to come to an understanding with my guides on the court cards. Otherwise, they were leaving the deck, but we got it figured out.
Yeah, I still struggle with the court cards sometimes too.
Yeah, there's just the court cards I think have way more interpretations than the majors. Like the court
Mm-hmm.
cards, they can just be anything. They're like the wild cards
Right.
in the deck. They can be anything. They can be talking about a person. They can be talking about a feeling. They can be talking. Oh, they're intense. All right. So I'm not seeing any questions regarding cards yet, but Scott and I, when we were discussing the show, we picked four cards that we would like to talk about. Four cards that maybe we struggled with a little bit in the beginning. Um, so I guess, would you like to start with the page, the pesky page of swords?
Pesky pages, yeah.
Pesky pages. I'm gonna hide that one. Okay, let's see. Did you see anything in the chat?
Juanita said, yeah, tell us about those.
Okay. And then Trista said, one guidebook I have interprets the court cards as modifying the cards next to them. Yes, they do that. They do.
Interesting.
Four of Cups. Oh, four. Oh, we have the Four of Cups, Lisa. So let's discuss the pesky Four of Cups.
Yeah. We have that as one of our four.
Yes, we have that as one of the fours that we were discussing. So there's a lot of different interpretations of this card. Scott, how do you resonate with the Four of Cups?
So I learned that there's more meanings than just one. But when I started out, I would look through the guidebook that I had and just learn one word for one card or maybe two words. And the card for this one, the definition is boredom and missed opportunities. So that's kind of what I see when I look there. I see more missed opportunity than the boredom. How do you look at it?
I look at it the same way. More of like apathy. Like whenever I'm doing a reading when the Four of Cups comes, I'm just like, this is how you feel about it. Me. Just like, yeah, it's just like that apathy that just like, I don't care about it either way is kind of how it usually comes through in readings that I have, of course, depending on what cards are around them. So we have Juanita says meditation, contemplation, and reevaluation. So for the four, depending on the cards that come around it, they can absolutely mean those things as well. Disconnection, absolutely. That just like that's definitely how I view the Four of Cards. So let's say you have the Four of Cards and you do a 3-card spread. And let's say you have the Four of Cards with like the 10 of Cups and the Devil. We'll just make it interesting. How would you interpret that one, maybe?
You're missing out on an opportunity because you're holding something back. And what was the other one you said? The 10 of Cups?
Yeah.
And once you get that and can find out what that is that you need to get rid of, then you can have happiness and joy.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Absolutely.
you?
So that could be interpreted the way that I saw that one coming through was there's something like there's someone or something with the 10 of cups. I could be a family member or something like that coming through, and they are they're kind of with the devil card and the 10 of cups. I feel like someone's kind of influencing you to feel that way is how it came through to me. Yeah, so they can be, they're influencing you in a way that's either annoying you so badly that you just don't care anymore, or they're just making like they're kind of ruining it for you.
And I think one of the you know, lessons that we have learned, and I talked to Sarah and we both have learned it, is that there is more than just that standard definition.
Mm-hmm.
There's your intuition. And once your intuition gets going, it'll take off. So if you're memorizing and you're having a hard time memorizing, start looking into the card as well for intuition and what it makes you feel like. So yeah, basically I could call this one junior high student card. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. That's the best definition. I love that. The
Yeah, she's a
yes.
middle school teacher.
It is that middle school mentality about everything. Just like, why? Why do I have to? I don't want to. And then you see this guy sitting here. He can't see the offer. He's thinking out something. That absolutely, that is an interpretation that I've seen many people use as well. Is they're just not seeing what's right in front of them. Like literally, he's being handed a cup, and he's just like, either ignoring it or just not seeing how it's not seeing it.
Right.
I'm trying to see if there's any more questions.
There's one from Christine. I'm wanting to know about a different card. I didn't know if you were ready to do that or you wanted to.
Yeah, we can totally switch.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, the Hierophant.
Yeah, that got me for a while too. The priest.
So the Hierophant. So what is your? I'm going to pull it up so we can see it.
Oh, awesome.
There we go. That lovely Hierophant card. So what's your interpretation of the Hierophant card?
Well, originally, like my standard definition was teaching and learning, and how you would, you got the learners there who are learning from their teacher, but the teacher had to be a learner at one time as well. So it kind of goes, and then the learners could become the teachers later on. So that was my original, but I got a different definition from Nath. You know Nath, the third wish?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
Probably should.
Yeah, you should look him up. He's awesome. But he said one day, he said the Hierophant is protection. And I thought about it, and he's, I had to send him a message and ask him about it, about what word, because I loved the word that he said, but I couldn't remember it. But he said it's protection because of the, it could be because of the Pope, because it's a leader, because it's a religious figure that seems, to be protecting others with their words. So it can mean protection from spirit, from spores.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I saw some comments about learners from the teachers also learn from the students. Absolutely. And I saw, mentor. Mentor is another definition.
Yep. Good, Marilla.
For me, the way I was taught the Hierophant originally, it was that authority and traditions. I always thought this card speaks to those family traditions, maybe those traditions that you grew up with. And for me, being the nonconformist that I am, that's stuck in my head. So whenever it's, to me, it's the rebel card when it's reversed.
Right.
Like you're just saying no way to those traditional rules and boundaries that maybe were set upon you um, from something or someone else, like just from where you grew up. So that's how I resonate with the Hierophant, is those traditional rules, and it's a very suffocating card for me.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, it can definitely be looked at that way. I didn't mean to put Jackie's comment over yours. Sorry about that.
Oh no,
But
go for it. Because if you see
that's what a
something,
lot of
just pull it
people.
up.
That's what a lot of people think about the Hierophant is,
Yes,
that
conformity.
it could be even devil in reverse. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Ooh, I have.
conformity, religion.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like that definition, so I kind of don't use it. I don't use the
Hmm.
religion thing unless it's really, really obvious. If the question's kind of like, has something to do with it. But I stick with teaching and learning and now
Hmm.
protection because I try to see, positives
Yep.
a little bit more than negatives. But we might get into that with we're not going to get into reversals unless you guys have a question about them. But if I were to say there is a reversal to this card, it's probably conformity and religion and that kind of
Yeah,
thing. But I don't use the reversals hardly ever. So
and it also depends on the reading, because it could mean something completely different, um, depending on how the reading comes through and the other cards that are thrown with it and the messages that you're getting. Um, when you're doing an actual reading for somebody, the definitions change. Sometimes I read the cards as something completely new in some readings. Like I've never read it this way.
yep.
Um, and this is how this card is coming across right now in this reading. So it's all open to interpretation.
Yes, and that's when your intuition takes a hold of it. I've been reading for 5 years and I'm still learning new definitions and new
Yeah.
ways that the cards will go and what they mean. Um, there is no set definition unless you're learning and it's just practice and it's something to bounce off of into your own interpretation.
Hmm.
After you learn the standard definition. So, and
Yeah.
you can get all kinds of things to start, as well. I know there might be a lot of starters in the chat, and you can get starter decks. Um, yeah, you can get whatever you need to really start it. Spiritual wisdom can be a positive thing.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. As long as it comes from a positive influence.
But you can use flashcards, right, Sarah? You can use anything that'll help you. And
Yes.
I want you to show what you did because
I
that's
went
amazing.
bonkers. I went, I created, so if I have my tarot study book that I started, and
Can you
then I
make
have,
yourself larger so that we can? You want me to make you larger?
oh sure.
That way we can
So
see
I
your
had
cards.
of course, my tarot study journal. I have like three of these that I started. Because as you grow, interpretations change. And then I went to every book I had, every website, and I compiled definitions, and I picked and chose which ones I liked and which ones I didn't like. And I created this whole poster board, like the ones that fold in, like the presentation board, and I would have it like right there. And it was massive, and I made an art project out of that. And then that wasn't good enough. So I created a deck of
It's
cards
awesome.
because I was trying to also incorporate the playing cards, because I grew up playing Grouch Rummy with my family, and I love cards. So I just made the deck of cards and I put at the time the interpretations that I resonated with most um, at that time, and it was this really helped a lot. Like for the magician, I have manifestation, willpower, skills, resourcefulness, taking action, making things happen. That's and then I put if it's a yes or a no. So yeah, that's how crazy I went when I was learning tarot.
That's
But
awesome, though.
that's how I learn. I have to get creative and make stuff.
All right. And you can do that too. You can use flashcards to make your own deck. The other thing, what I did is I can't get to it unfortunately because it's piled behind a bunch of decks. But I have a journal that I bought from Amazon, and I bought a little deck of reflective cards just because I like the bling bling. So I put one on each page, and I put the whole tarot on in this book. And then I wrote out definitions in upright, and then at the bottom I wrote definitions in reverse. So that's what really helped me. And the way I learned those definitions was going through my tarot decks. They're the guidebooks, basically, is what I was going through. So yeah, I would stay up at night and highlight the definitions in all these different guidebooks, and then I'd go to another one, and they have totally different definitions.
Mm-hmm.
So, and not one is right and one is wrong. It's all right. It's all how you see it.
Yes, it's all because it's for when doing readings, it's for the reading at its and it's for the sitter. So it's for the person who you're reading for, and you're interpreting the message and giving it to them. So maybe I have found, and I don't know if you found this way, maybe in doing a reading, like a specific card has a specific meaning for that sitter that you never thought of before. And
Yeah.
it's coming through in that way, but that message is specific. So I'm just like, I don't know what this card is trying to tell me, but this is what it's trying to tell me. And they're like, oh, I know what that is. Because it's something completely out of the box that you're like, I've never had that card, come across like that before. But it's for the person that you're reading for.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I was so scared to learn tarot. It was so intimidating. I had a really great teacher, and I had Deborah Zachow, and I had a lot of amazing people in the class, like Judy in the Skies, and Linda Butterfly readings were in the class with me, and just watching the way everyone else reads really helped me a lot too, because Judy has a fabulous connection and she reads her own way, and it's beautiful, and I love reading with her. So it's really fun. So if you are learning and you can find people to kind of maybe practice with and learn with, I would suggest doing that. That's a really fun way to do it.
Right. Jackie wants to know, do you sell that deck, Sarah?
I don't. This is the only copy. I can get more printed, but I got it through.
You should do that.
You think I should?
Yes, absolutely.
I just didn't know if it
amazing.
would make sense to anybody else. Maybe I will. I can. If people are interested, I can definitely get more printed out. And that's the back.
Just start your own even Etsy shop if you wanted to. Just something to think about.
I might think about it. I'll see if people, maybe I'll start using it in the shows and see if people like it.
Yeah.
It's just something fun that I did. Let's see. Jackie said, and different parts of the images can give you a hint that you've never seen before.
Right.
Yes. I usually don't read imagery. But I was doing a reading. Who was I doing a reading with? It must have been, I can't remember when it was because I just don't even know what day it is half the time. But I was doing a reading and the imagery just popped out, this bird or something. I was like, I never read cards like this, but this bird is like harassing me to say something. So as you read, it evolves for sure. For sure.
Hi, Jules. Hi, Donna Marie. Hi to everybody coming in.
Oh, Juanita's asking about my tuning forks. Yeah, I'm learning the tuning forks now. I'm learning to do a sound healing and then energy clearing and then eventually the DNA treatments.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about tuning forks.
They're fine. Trista's really good with the tuning forks too. Trista's amazing. Have you typed guilty as charged? Guilty as charged. Did you go that far as to do a spreadsheet?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Guilty as charged.
I didn't. I just wrote mine. I'm more of a pen and paper person, so I wrote them out.
Yeah. Jackie says she practiced with you.
Mm-hmm. We used to practice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun to practice with someone else because you learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, when you're starting out, the scariest thing is because sometimes it seems so rigid when like, oh, this card has to mean that. If I'm reading for somebody who, I get this a lot. I'm nervous to read for you because you know the cards and you'll think it's wrong. Absolutely not, because everybody has their own interpretation of the cards.
Right.
And most of the time when I get readings from other people, especially newer readers, I learn something. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I've never even thought of that before. I've never thought of looking at the card that way.
And I've done the same thing, like with the newbies galore that I've had. I've had 2 of them now, and each one I have learned something different from newbies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not all of them are new to, tarot. Some have done tarot for years and years, and they just started their YouTube channel. But still, it's like I'm learning from you guys.
Absolutely.
And I don't think you ever stop learning the tarot. So if you don't get it all at one time and it frustrates you, don't quit. Come back to it or go at it in a different way, like Sara did,
Mm-hmm.
like I did, writing it down, making you a tarot journal, making you cards, flashcards, whatever it is. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I made a really cheesy video on the Fool's Journey, and it literally looks like I made it in 9th grade on Windows 95 or whatever.
I bet it's good.
Windows 95 wasn't even around when I was in 9th grade. What am I talking about?
Windows 95.
But it's really old and really cheesy. But you should check it out. I have it posted on my page. I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing, but it's a 3-minute little video talking about the Fool's Journey, and it's pretty fun if you want to check it out. You can laugh at me. It's okay. I laughed at myself when I did it. I have some questions starred that I think we'll bring up a little bit later, but I would like to talk about a pesky page.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that pesky Page of Swords. Hey, that's not the Page of Swords. There we go.
The Page of Swords.
The pesky pages. These guys are tricky because there's so many cards. Like most people say pages are new beginnings, but so are aces. And
right.
So 10s are endings and new beginnings. So it's
mm-hmm.
There's a lot of, so yeah, if you get a lot of aces and a lot of pages in a reading, yeah, there's definitely some new energy coming through for sure. What got me with the pages is trying to interpret them there's a couple different ways that I interpret the court cards. So they were not, I could not remember anything about them. My brain just said, no, you don't want to absorb this information. And it refused. I would bang it in there, and I just could not remember anything. So I was like, all right, spirit guides, I need help with these court cards because I'm really struggling. I was like, I should just give up on them altogether. And I said, if they're upright, they're going to be about a living person, possibly. Mm. If they're reversed, they're guides coming through.
And now I have a question. Is that just for the pages or all the court cards?
All the court cards. And they all represent different versions of the guide. So like the Page of Swords, if he came in for me as a guide, he would be a younger guide that's very eager to teach, has a lot to show you, but also still has a lot to learn. So you guys will be learning lessons together is kind of how he comes through as a guide. Not like the King of Swords, which would be like, this guy knows his stuff. Like his message is tried and true. He's seen a lot. So that's kind of how, when I started doing it that way, that's how they would come through. So they would have similar traits to the cards, but they would come in and, my learning from Deborah, she had the most amazing definitions for the court cards. And for the Page of Swords, she calls the Page of Swords young Sheldon, or just Sheldon Cooper from the Big Bang Theory, because he is a super smart individual, someone who's so smart that he's oblivious to everyone else. Mm-hmm. And if he came in reversed, it would be like the shadow side of him, where he would be, kind of how he would just sit there and not move and just and hold everybody up. Like, you're sitting in my chair, and like not like hold up the game because he didn't want to sit somewhere else. So it was just, yeah, Sheldon Cooper is the Page of Swords. Absolutely. So she had the most amazing definitions for the court cards as people. And I loved it. It was so fun. And the Queen of Swords is Judge Judy. Very smart, witty, chatty, like a woman who knows her words, knows how to use her words. Very smart, but don't piss her off because she can cut you with those words. So yeah, it's really fun. And that's why I couldn't wrap my head around the court cards, because there was so much personality in these cards that that it was overwhelming. So now, usually when I get a court card, it's energetic. It's an energetic theme. That's kind of how it comes in now that I've evolved. So it's never really comes in as a person, or just kind of like the theme. I think someone said that earlier. It's kind of affects the other cards and sets the mood for the reading.
Yeah.
How about you? How is your Page of Swords?
So I've struggled with this card, and I first looked at him as the manifester, but I had to switch that really quick because that's what the Page of Pentacles is to me, is the manifester as well. So I was like, all right, are they the same? I don't know. And then I remember swords are action. And it's a new action because pages are new, a new action that's someone is taking, and that you can, do something new. And it's also learning. And so learning something new. And that's pretty much what, how I learned it, and how I teach it too.
Yeah, absolutely. If a page comes through, it's definitely the beginning of something. Right. Definitely the first, like the infancy steps in like growing something, whether it's an action, whether it's a thought process or an emotion. That's kind of how I view the pages unless unless for some reason in the reading they're sticking out like they're more important, like they're like, hey, come on, you need to focus on this card right now.
Right. That's how I learned the pages that has kind of stuck with me after struggling with them for a long time, or the court cards in general, I should say, is I will say, even, in my lives, the court cards are here to show you characteristics that you can embody in your life. And so take the characteristics and use them to follow on your journey, because it'll make your journey better. That's why I say the Page of Swords is a learning page. Do something to start learning something new, and that will, make you be, better on your journey and just helpful. So
I love that.
yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. I learned something. You taught me something with the Page of Swords. See, every time I watch a reader or I learn something new.
Yeah. Me too.
Now
Yeah.
we have the pesky Page of Cups. The Page of Cups. This one comes in to me usually as, unless they're specifically asking for like a love reading, this one usually comes in for me as a new creative venture, or a new way of feeling about something, like a new emotion towards something, depending on what the rest of the cards are and what the question is. But a lot of times the Page of Cups, it's an emotional card. It's, it's very emotional, but you can't be creative without emotions. So like if you have like a new idea that you want to do creatively, those emotions are there. Those emotions are what's driving that creation. Like if you wanted to paint or something. So that's usually how I see the Page of Cups. And then Marilla said, unexpected new surprise. And yes, I have heard pages coming in as new news or new surprises, something new coming through as well. Absolutely. I've heard those as definitions for the cards for sure.
I have kind of an interesting definition of the Page of Cups, because I heard somewhere, don't know where, but I heard somewhere that a fish in a cup is abundance. And then you have lots of water in this card. Every Page of Cups, or that's in the Rider-Waite or that's in a Rider-Waite knockoff, should have a bunch of water, because it's an overwhelm or overabundance of emotion. So I often say it's good to, to practice what you're saying, speak your truth out of love, speak your truth out of, or your actions out of love, and have emotional control, because if not, it's going to get a little messy with your emotions. So
that is, I like that. I like that a lot. And see, everybody has their own way of interpreting cards. Trista says, I read the quartz as seasonal energy.
Oh,
like King's Winter, Queen Spring, Prince Summer, and I think she fixed it to be, I lost it, Trista. Prince is Autumn. But yeah, I have heard that. See, it's all interpretive, and that's really the best advice to give new readers, is not to worry about the strict definitions. Just use, a lot of times, I was discussing this with Scott earlier, when I'm doing cards, the cards are really just like the first sentence in the reading that I'm going to do. Because sometimes I'll look at the cards and I could have 4 in front of me and it just forms one word in my head, and then the guides come through and it just the message gets channeled through. So it just all of it depends on how the reading happens. So what sign in astrology would this Page of Cups be?
I looked it up through because I don't know, but I know it's got to be a water sign, and I pulled from the Vita Sara tarot, and this tarot has like all kinds of definitions, but it also has the astrological signs of each one. And this is funny because this one has all 3 water signs. So it has Scorpio, or no, it doesn't. It has a Sagittarius, Scorpio, and I believe that is Libra. And so the dates are September 23rd to December 21st. I mean, there's so many ways you can interpret that with the signs, and different people have different signs for different cards. So
yeah, this book says Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and I was going to say Pisces, but that's a given with the fish. But
yeah, I'm surprised this one didn't say that.
Oh wait, that's the Knight of Cups. I needed to pull. It's Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Same.
Yeah.
Oh, and another way that I was taught the pages, which helped if you're doing a reading as like a person. I haven't really practiced this in a bit, but so Deborah taught the pages. If they're a page, they're like young, dependent, from like age 0 to 18. Someone who is someone who's dependent on you. That's kind of how the pages come across. So that if you're reading for somebody and they were asking a specific detail, like they wanted to know about somebody, they would be that younger person. So if you're trying to find out something specific about a person, the page would represent that age group. And the knights would be more your 20 somethings. And then when you get into the king and queens, they're your middle-aged adults like us.
Mature adults. Yeah. I've heard that too.
Yeah. So that's just a kind of another way to think about it. If you're doing it to do on a specific person.
Right.
Violet says, I like the idea of relating cards to people. Yeah, it is. It's kind of fun when you go and you look, oh, that person is such a Queen of Hearts. So I said Queen of Hearts. I should have said Queen of Cups. So when I was learning, I was going through, and she advised us to associate, like find your court cards in people. And I had this friend in high school who was just the epitome, even as an adult. She was the epitome of the Queen of Wands, because she was just that go-getter, cheery, always very active, always doing stuff, always making sure everybody has what they need, just like the life of the party, but not like the life of the party in, a way that a knight would be, but more just like she is the hostess with the mostest, making sure everybody has what they need, making sure everyone's taken care of, always put together, just go, 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 like that PTA mom that never stops. That's kind of the energy of the Queen of Wands. On the flip side, that Queen of Wands she has a tendency to burn herself out by overdoing it sometimes. So she can have like a big crash, and start feeling maybe not taken advantage of, but like she's just not people don't appreciate her as much because she does so much. So that's kind of how I interpreted the Queen of Wands as a person. And so it was really fun practice to go and do that, to try to find people that they associate with those cards.
Yeah, I sometimes struggled with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords and the difference, because a Queen of Wands I think of as um, very self-confident and independent, because she's always got that cat there, so
Mm-hmm.
independent and self-confident. But if you look at the Queen of Swords, what is she? She's self-confident and independent. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, where's the
Oh yeah.
difference? So I started thinking, well, thoughts, Queen of Swords, maybe she's psychic. Maybe if you get
Mm-hmm.
this card, the difference is you could be psychic if you get this card. Take some psychic classes. So that's a little how I distinguish them, but it took me many years to get to that
Yeah.
conclusion. Before I was just confused about it. So, and that's okay to be
Absolutely.
confused. Yeah,
I wouldn't say confused. I just interpretations change over time. They evolve.
yeah.
Yeah, they definitely change. So whatever, however you read, and after this, who the heck knows? We might go back and start reading cards a way we did, a while back, just because it pops in that way. So it's
Or a
all
different way that we learned today.
absolutely a different way that we learn today, because it just, that's the fun of it. When you watch other people and you learn, it's kind of like opening up. Um, when you get like a Lego set and you get your Lego set all built, but then there's like an expansion pack that comes out and you can make it bigger. It's kind of what it feels like when you're learning different interpretations of cards and different ways to read that you might not have thought about. It's just like adding that extra bonus and excitement to it. Let's see. I did have some in the starred.
I'm going to take some of them out that we've already answered. I'm not adding any here, Sarah.
Oh, this one. Um, this one I saved because I figured it would be a good segue for you to pull out your cards.
Tarot cards with the beanies. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Scott had prepared a few amazing decks, beginner decks that he wanted to share.
Yeah, do you mind if I put myself in the hot seat?
Nope, it's all yours.
All right, awesome. So, oh, that's you. Okay, where am I? I don't know where I went now. Let me see here. There we go. We'll get it in a minute. So the first one that I really learned definitions from is the Gilded Royale, but it doesn't have definitions on them. But I found one really soon that did, and it's called the Reality Check. And it is really good. But the only thing about this one is it's not in print anymore. You have to print it out, and but it's just awesome, and has all the definitions on there, and the reversed down here, or up here, excuse me, and the upright here. So I had that for a while, and then I collected a couple of more, and I got the Intuit Tarot. Now you can get this one on Etsy, and it has it's gilded, so it's an elegant kind of type deck, if you like that in your cards. And it has the full, and look at all the definitions it has there. So, and there's a gold definition, and then there's other definitions, and then if you want the reverse, you can just turn it over. But show a couple of those. Magician, get over here, High Priestess, Empress. So I like those because they had both the illustrations and the definitions on there that you could learn. This is the Vita Sara. It's very similar, except it's just got everything. It's got the let me go to the next one. Yeah, here we go. It's got the planet. It's got the signs on it. It's just got everything that you can imagine. But this one is the Vita Sara, and you can get it on Amazon. As the first one is SC. This is Amazon. And then I just brought out my light seers, because if you're a beginner, I so encourage you to get this deck, because you probably seen it everywhere, because everybody just about has it.
Yeah.
Do you have it, Sarah? Yep. Sarah
I
has
have two versions, the big one and the mini.
and the small one. Yeah. And it's just beautiful illustrations, but it has a way of sticking in your head. And I've heard that from other people. I had another friend who was a tarot reader for years and years, and she said that she now gets the illustrations from the light seers in her head more than she had the Rider Waite. So it's
They're
this is on Amazon
deck.
too.
Yeah, gorgeous deck.
And if you like the Rider Waite, there's no problem with that either. There's Rider Waite everywhere, and this is just a version of the Rider Waite. This is called the Modern Way. So there's just a few there. I thought I would show, because I wish I had somebody to tell me when I first started what the best decks to get work. So I just had my intuition to pull from, and then, oh, this looks pretty, let's try that one. So yeah,
absolutely. And picking, I really resonate with the Rider Waite, and those images come in my head a lot. So for a while, when I was looking at other versions, I was like, did I totally forget how to do it?
right.
But you just have to pick the cards that make your heart smile. Like if you resonate with the imagery in the card, it's going to be easier for you to interpret the cards. I just got a new deck, and it's just a mass market deck I got on Amazon, but I was like, that is so freaking cute.
Kidding me. I just was looking,
and the cards are so freaking cute.
You're blowing my mind right now, because I actually I was actually looking at different decks to find out when I purchased mine, and that one popped up, and I'm like, I've never seen that one before. This is today. Today, Sarah. And now you're showing me that deck. That is wild.
I got this deck. I ordered it, and it was delayed, and it actually came. I had met Linda Butterfly Readings came here, and we went out to dinner, and it came right as I was leaving. So I took the deck and I shoved it in my purse. I'm like, I gotta look at it. But they're so, look at that hair font. Come on.
Oh my gosh, I've got to put that on my wish list. They
just make me happy. So I really enjoy looking at the cards. So they resonate really well. Yeah. It's a funny deck. It's fun. I recommend it because it's just too darn cute.
I love that. Yeah.
Let's see what else. Yeah, and I had a couple decks with. Originally, I had bought blank deck cards that you can get blank tarot cards, and I was handwriting the definitions on there. That's a lie. I didn't handwrite them. I printed them out on full sheet sticker paper, and then I stuck it to there because my handwriting sucks. So I had the definitions on there. I went a little nuts, but it didn't shuffle very well because of the paper.
What was the name of that deck again that you just showed?
This one is The Whimsical Path.
Okay, it's going on my wish list right now.
Yeah. They're just adorable. Yeah, I was like, I gotta look at it. And I looked at it for a couple times. I'm like, I'm just getting it. And it's not expensive. I think it was under $20.
It's $16.99. Okay, you are going on my list right now.
Yeah.
Bam, got it.
The Queen of Swords is Queen Elizabeth. I can definitely see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jackie said the wandering star has meanings hidden in the images. Yeah, and I had that. I just didn't pull it out. Now I wish I had. She was talking about it, but it's got like the balcony railing has definitions on it, or it might be in the frame of a door, but they're hidden throughout the
Mhm.
actual tarot. So that's pretty cool. That wandering star.
That's awesome. The Queen of Cups is Judy from Judy's Healing Fire.
Do you know Judy?
I've seen her on your show, and I've seen her with Judy.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't met her personally, but I've definitely watched her.
Yeah, and then someone says, "Don't you mean the Queen of Wands?" I see her more as the Queen of Wands. I think she's got fiery red hair. I just see her coming in, and everybody going, "Oh, look."
She's definitely got the Queen of Wands energy for sure. That that
Yeah,
that happy, just energetic personality. Absolutely.
self confident. Yep, that's her. I'll have to tell her we were talking about her now.
I think she was here earlier,
Oh, was she? I didn't see her.
but not self-confident in a um like a negative way, just like that.
No, in a
Someone like the
positive
Queen
way.
of Wands. The Queen of Wands to me is someone people aspire to be. Like if they were like at in a neighborhood community, she'd be the one that was like friends with everybody and getting stuff done, and all the other moms were like, I wish I had her energy. I wish, I wish I could be more
Yeah,
like her. That's kind of the Queen of Wands.
and Judy's an Aries, so this goes perfect. Queen of Wands with
Perfect.
the Aries. Yeah.
Hmm. I love mini decks are great. Yes, especially when you're doing live readings. I only use mini decks. Um,
Hmm.
because you have to shuffle a lot, and it hurts, starts to hurt your hands after a while when you're
Yeah.
shuffling. Let's see if we missed anything else in the chat. We had one more card that we had chose to discuss. If we want to pop it up there, it's the Four of Pentacles.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you told me to.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's what happens. We just play that back and forth. Let's see if we can give anybody a seizure by going back and forth. So the Four of Pentacles. So would you say the textbook definition that most people associate the Four of Pentacles with is greediness?
I was going to say greed,
Yeah, greediness.
but I don't read
I
it
don't
that way
see it that
anymore.
way.
No.
I don't see it that way. How do you interpret the Four of Pentacles generally?
That you have something that you're holding back that you need to say or do.
Yeah.
You're holding back something. So, but it can change if it's a money reading. If it's a financial reading, then it could be like you need to, just what Christine said, you need to save, you need to keep your money close. Control, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. The Deborah's interpretation, some of her interpretations just really stuck with me and resonated with me. And this was one of them. She says that the Four of Pentacles, she said that she really doesn't like that people use it as greedy. The way it usually came across in her readings, and I really love this, was it's not that you're greedy. It's usually you've come out of a hard time, a time of lack. Maybe you've come, it should almost come after the Five of Pentacles, but like you've come out of a time of hardship where you're just back on your feet and you just have enough to get by, like maybe financially, you just have enough money to pay all your bills and you are secure. So people might see you as greedy because you don't have enough to help. So you can't, like you just have enough and you have to protect that. That's the interpretation that really stuck with me, is like you just don't have enough to give at this time.
Right. I like that too.
Yeah, fear of lack. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you've been through it and now you're out of it, but you don't want to go back. And then if you're looking at it in reverse, maybe you need to pay more attention because maybe you're going to start going back down that path of spending too much or whatever. So, how do you guys interpret the four of pentacles? See, he doesn't look like a miser in the card. He's just like, I've got mine.
Yep. I'm trying to think. There's actually a tarot deck out there, and it gives definitions, just like one word definitions, and it's calling the Four of Pentacles a miser. And I'm like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, I
get
have
that, but
seen that.
it's I can't. I got it in there. I can't remember what it's called, but
Yeah.
the Osho Zen,
Yeah.
Osho Zen tarot. Yeah.
Is it in that one?
Mm-hmm.
The four pentacles.
Yeah.
I have two versions of that deck too.
Oh wow.
So it's funny. Have you noticed that when you go through decks and you do readings, you can do like tons and tons and tons of readings, but there's cards you've never seen.
Yeah.
You're like, I never pull this card. Why is that? Like going
Yeah.
through it, you're like, I don't remember this card because I've never pulled it before. It's so interesting how like you can shuffle and shuffle and never see a card in a deck.
And I do the same thing with oracles. A lot of times I'll get a card. I'm like, I haven't seen this one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, the Six of Cups. Let me pull that one up. Six of Cups, Six of Cups. I always read the Six of Cups the same way.
I have two definitions of it.
What are your definitions?
Either, nostalgia, childhood. Actually, three. Nostalgia, inner child work, or a gift is coming to you. Because he's giving a gift to the little girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
Well, this is funny because I pulled up the Six of Cups. I said the Six of Cups, but I had Six of Pentacles in my head. And then when I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, that's not what I was. See, that's how it works sometimes. The six, it's usually nostalgia or childhood. Something is taking you back to those memories. Is that taking you back to a time? Like childhood emotions, or you're feeling those emotions from a memory, something like that. Yeah, childhood memories, absolutely. I have had a reading where there was like the Six of Pentacles, or Six of Cups, some pages, and I can't remember what the other card was, but the reading came to me, it was like, you're acting like a child and you need to stop. Because they were all very immature cards about the reading, and they're basically saying you're being childish. You need to reevaluate your actions.
That's a great definition of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how you can change it and it still radiates. It still makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's right. Just like the other definitions that are totally different are right too.
Wait, what was this one? Hold on. Christine said, I don't know if that's a child or an old woman. I know, right? Like there's a giant with an old lady. It kind of looks like or two gigantic children, because the house is pretty small behind them. Yeah, that card is pretty funny. But yeah, it's just so fun how you can how cards, the different understandings, and different cards can mean different things at different times. Like I've had a reading where I looked down, I saw the Ten of Pentacles, I read it as the Ten of Pentacles. The reading resonated, but when I picked the cards up, it was the Ten of Cups. And I was just like, what just happened? And I thought, did I just completely do something wrong? But the message that came through, the card was the 10 was just the energy of the 10 was the only thing that resonated from that card. It didn't matter which 10 it was. It just wanted that 10 energy coming through.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever had that
It's
happen?
yeah, definitely. And I sometimes will read the definition for the Ten of Cups that is really the definition for the Ten of Pentacles, but there's so much alike.
Mm-hmm.
They're about, well, Ten of Pentacles is more about abundance, I guess, but Ten of Cups can be too.
Yep.
So I just wanted to add real quick, if it's okay.
Wait.
I pulled from the Light Seers and Christine, and this is the Light
Mm-hmm.
Seers Six of Cups, which I absolutely love. It's got the
It's one of
little
my
boy,
favorites.
yeah, the little boy with the puppy, and now look how they've grown. They got the timeline, and then he's grown up and he's got the big dog now. So it's a reminder of you had great times in the past, but you can still have great times, in the future as well.
Yeah, I highly recommend the Light Seers. It is fabulous. I love this deck.
And it's cheap too. It's not expensive
I
on
think it's like
Amazon.
20, 21 or it would
Yeah,
like
something
20
like that.
something, I think. Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I highly, highly recommend it, Jenny.
Hmm. Anything that you look at and the images make you smile. That's kind of how because I've seen some decks, I'm like, I don't feel like I could do readings off of that deck because it's just, I don't like the imagery. It doesn't
Right.
resonate with my heart. So just whatever you feel. Like I got this deck. This is another deck I got off Amazon. I had it in my cart for quite some time, and I was just like, eh. But the back is gorgeous. It's just another mass
Oh, I
market
have that.
60. Yeah, it's just the I love the images. The images are just very calming and beautiful to me.
The Ethereal Bloom. Was that what
Yeah.
it's called? Yeah, I
Yep.
got that.
And look at the King of Cups. I mean, he looks like a guide. He just looks like someone who has the biggest heart and all the answers, you know?
Yeah.
I love this deck. So it to me, that's also just important as knowing the meanings of the cards and is having that emotional connection with your cards. Like how does looking at the imagery make you feel?
Right. Well, the Light Seers is only 2068 right
Mm-hmm.
now, and on Amazon, and the Ethereal Bloom is 16.99. You can't beat that.
Yeah, they don't have to be super expensive
Right.
to get a really good deck. They don't have to be collector's items.
Yeah, some of my best decks that are like my kids that cherish are from Amazon, and they didn't cost that much, like the Light
Mm-hmm.
Seekers.
Yep.
And then I've had others that were given to me or I bought over the years, and they were pretty expensive, and they didn't resonate. Now, some of them
Mm-hmm.
did, but some of them did not. So,
Yeah.
you have to
Yeah.
be careful what you buy
Yeah.
and really look through walkthroughs on YouTube. And, I think that's sometimes better than looking at the images because the images can be um, different with what they're just showing you than what's
Mm-hmm.
on a walkthrough. Walkthrough is going to show
Yeah.
you every card.
Yep.
So,
Yes, absolutely. Um, I usually try to find somewhere where I can see the entire deck. Because have you ever had this experience where you're like, oh, I love the cards that I've seen. They're all fabulous. But then there's like one or two in the deck that you're just like, ew, I
yeah,
don't like these cards at all. I don't want to use the deck because these two cards they're not for me.
Well, anybody who knows me knows I have a huge fear of possums. And I
Okay.
had the Westwood tarot down here, and I love using it still, but it freaks me out because the Five of Pentacles is a possum with babies. It's
You would not want
disgusting.
to come in our yard.
Yeah. Oh no, no. I had the really bad childhood experience with a possum, so I don't. No, no, no. But I started buying decks that had possums in them just so it would resonate with me and I could maybe get over the fear, but that hasn't happened. I still jump and like a 13-year-old. So yeah.
Possums can be aggressive if they need to be.
Yeah, they can. There's teeth.
So no possum cards for Scott.
No, no thanks.
Just squirrels.
Just squirrels. Yeah, squirrels are good.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any other questions before we close down shop? Is this something that you would like to see again? Because we were just trying something new, something different.
Mhm.
Playing dead is creepy. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is creepy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bina said Bibiani can help clear that fear. Yeah, she probably could.
A tower. Oh, this is a good one.
This is a great
Okay.
one.
So we got
my bad.
requests for more shows. That's okay. Click. We'll just do the click, click, click. Next time we'll be like, you're the clicker. We'll designate clicker next time.
Okay. Sorry about
the tower. I'm like Scott. I generally think there's positivity in every card, even that pesky devil. There's always positivity. Let me pull up the tower because I just
and even the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, get the tower from the light seers because that's a good one too.
That is a good one. It's a little hut.
Oh, the tower in this card is hilarious too. If I can find it. A lot of times they always have imagery of people on fire falling out of, falling out of it. Like, oh my gosh, the world is crumbling. That is, here's the tower in this card. I just thought it was hilarious. I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
It's cute because they're just like, I don't know. The people are funny. They look like Weeble Wobbles with legs. Did you find the tower in the light seers?
I did. You want me to show this one?
Yeah.
It's just a little hut.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little grass hut that's got a little fire to it. So the lightning is striking it, but it's just a little hut anyway. So it's to me, this is not as much a big deal as if you pulled this one over here.
Mm-hmm.
But when I pull this one, I'll say it's just a little grass hut. You can build another one, and that's what I say for towers. That they're good because you can rebuild something that is not working for you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's that necessary, but a lot of times uncomfortable change that's kind of forced upon you, or it's unexpected, or it's in the moment feels like the sky is falling, but once you come through it, it's like you just stepped into a whole new universe. Like that's just wonderful. So it's like it's that necessary push that you need towards the end of a cycle to move forward on your path. So towers are scary at the time, uncomfortable at the time, possibly, because they're generally a time of upheavalness in your life, like something like a shift that you're resistant to. But the outcome of the tower is very positive. You're starting over. You're starting over with those aces. You're starting over with new energy. And it's always for your benefit. So
Yeah.
it could be, it's kind of like someone's tower moment could be, I have to go to the dentist and get a cavity filled because they really hate going to the dentist. But once they do it and their tooth is fixed, they have no more pain. So it's kind of like situations like that where you really are just not looking forward to dealing with the change, but it's beneficial for you.
Right.
Clean sleep. Can't talk anymore. Clean sweep and rebuilding.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like another way I like to see it is a controlled fire. We have a lot of those here because we have rolling hills, and it gets very dry in the summertime. So they'll have a controlled fire to keep houses from burning down. But with that fire, or even fire in a forest, with that devastating fire, underneath comes that new growth, and the forest grows again. That's kind of how I like to see it.
Right. That's good. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's okay. So it looks like we need to do this again, Scott.
That's what I'm picking up also. So,
okay, so next time come with tons of questions.
Yep.
About the tarot. We'd like to answer anything that you would like to talk about, any questions you have.
I just wanted to address this one. Venus, I was fired on a tower day. I pulled the tower for my morning pull that I always do. And I actually was waiting for the phone call because I knew it was right after my mom had passed and I wasn't ready to go back to work. But I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know when. But then when I got the tower, I knew it was going to be on that day. And it ended up being a good thing because the job was just not, good. It wasn't good for me anymore. It was doing bad things. So, bringing out the worst in me. So that tower burning down was one of the best things to happen in my life. So,
and that's a perfect example too, Scott, because in the moment, in the thick of it, you're doing this job, you don't even realize it, that it's affecting you in a negative way until that tower moment comes, and then you have clarity afterwards.
Right.
And then you can be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I was dealing with all that stuff, or I can't believe how that made me be as a person. So that's a great example of the tower moment for sure.
Violet says, could we sometime practice with each other as part of these shows?
Yes. Why not? If you want to come on as a guest too, we'll send you the link. Yeah, absolutely. That's practicing is the best way to learn. Yeah, any ideas you have, or any things you would like to add to the show, just go ahead and put them in the comment section on either mine or Scott's, and then we'll read them and add them. Or you can email us too if you wanted to do it that way. But yeah, we would love your input and to have more of an interactive time with you guys for sure.
Yeah, or Jenny said possibly develop into Zoom meetings to practice. Why not?
That would be wonderful, because that would be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
we would love that, because we were discussing it. I had got a reading from Scott, and then we were discussing. I said I was putting together a class, because I have a friend, Jenny. Whispers from Heaven with Jenny. She was my inspiration to just start doing a PowerPoint presentation and putting the definitions in the cards. And I was going to go through it with her. And then I asked, Scott had mentioned that he had been asked if he would teach. So we're just like, let's do something.
Yeah.
Let's do something fun about. Let's talk about cards. So that's how this came to pass, and I had so much fun.
I did too. I think this was very successful, and the people in the chat, you guys have been so interactive. Thank you so much. It's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, just let us know in the comments what you would like to see, and we will make it happen.
All right. Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So I guess we will we'll see you next time. We'll schedule another show, and then we'll see you in the next show.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Bye.